Coming to you live from the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California, and all across the world, psychic, medium, and energetic healer Sheena Metal brings you Messages from Spirit.
Hi, and welcome to Messages from Spirit, only on the PARAPOD TV network. You can find us on streaming apps and everywhere when you type in PARAPOD TV. PARAPOD, of course, is also the TV network that is the sister station of UBN Go and LGBTQI Go, both of those fantastic radio stations. And the PARAPOD Festival, of course, every April. We just had the first annual one, is part of PARAPOD TV as well. PARAPOD TV is for all things outside of the box of the three dimensions. And this is Message from Spirit every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Pacific time. And I'm your host, Sheena Metal. I'm a psychic medium. I'm an energetic healer. And every week on the show, here's what happens. I'm a real psychic, and I talk to real people. And who ask real questions. We get real messages from Spirit, and hopefully have a real conversation and provide to them some real answers and some real healing. It's all about the real here. And if you want to find out more about the show, of course, you can find me at SheenaMetalSpiritual.com and everywhere on social media at Sheena Metal. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, send me a text message, 818-437-0886. And it's easier than you think. Here's what we're talking about a little bit today. Change, right? Can you change? Can other people change? Is change possible when it comes to a Homo sapien? Do we have the ability to change? And should you trust others if they come to you and tell you they've changed? This is, I think, something that we wrestle with in our lives every day. Sometimes you have to let somebody go that you love because maybe they're not good for you. They're not returning your love in the way that makes you feel healthy and happy. And so you have to make a decision about what you're going to do. So let's say you take a break from that person, which I would highly recommend, but then they come back and they say that they've changed. They've seen the light. They are feeling better about everything. They're working on themselves. Do you believe that that person has changed? Do you give people another shot? And this is kind of how I feel. Look, I'm not a fan of repeating those patterns, ow, that hurts, over and over again. But I will say that I do believe change is possible. And I do believe every human being has it within themselves to change, evolve, become more enlightened, become a better person. I see it all the time. I very much believe it's possible. And I think it's okay to give somebody another shot and see if they're sincere. Cautiously, right? You're not going to jump into anything. You're going to be a little careful. You're going to be a little wary. You're not going to necessarily believe right off the bat, just in the belief of the change. But wait and see what they do. There's that wonderful Maya Angelou quote, when people try to tell you who they are, believe them. Now, that quote is kind of about when somebody's showing you repeated patterns of bad behavior. Believe that maybe they're not that great, even though they're telling you they are. But what if we took that and we gave that a positive spin? And we said, look, when someone's trying to tell you they've changed, believe them. And if it turns out they haven't, then at least you can say you approach something with an open heart and you can walk away knowing the truth. Does that make sense? All right. That's my advice for you today. Do you believe people when they say they've changed? Why not? Why not give it a shot? But be careful and be cautious. Always when dealing with people, be careful and be cautious. I love you and I'm thinking about you and I want you to be happy and I want you to be healthy and I want everything to work out okay for you. And I want you to get back all of the love in your life. So give it a shot. I always say give it a shot. All right. Now I would like to deliver a message from Spirit. Hi.
Hi,
How are you? Who are you and where are you from, sweetie?
my name is Caitlin, and I'm from Modesto, California.
Beautiful. Hi, Caitlin. What's your question for me today?
My question is, so I had a boyfriend that passed away
Hmm.
about a few years ago now, maybe close to 5,
Okay.
and it was a hit and run, and they never found the person. I don't think. I just
Sure.
wanted to know if he's okay and if he's still mad at me.
Oh, honey, he's not mad at you at all. That ended the minute he crossed. He's sorry that he had to pass when there was some bad stuff going on between you. That he doesn't want you in any way to believe that he's angry with you for any reason, because he certainly isn't. Um,
Okay.
he's also sorry that he had to pass that way, uh, so soon and without being able to say goodbye. That kind of ate him up for a while. The fact he couldn't say goodbye to you, couldn't say goodbye to anybody, that was very difficult for him. Um, he
Yeah, that
wants
was very
you to know,
difficult.
he doesn't want you to be angry at the person who hit him. It was totally an accident. It wasn't right that they didn't stop, but it wouldn't have made any difference because he had passed anyway.
Right.
Okay?
Okay,
Is
thank
that
you.
okay with you?
Yeah, that brings me a lot of comfort.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And know that he loves you and he's looking out for you, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, sweetheart. Take care.
You too. Love you, Sheena.
Love you too, honey. Thank you so much for coming on today and being first.
No problem.
It's always so hard when someone passes, especially if there's been some bad feelings and you're not sure what to do about it. And I always think about that with people in my life. Oh, that there's been a thing and maybe we're not in contact, and we all have those people. I always think, like, how would I feel if I found out they passed? Or how would they feel if they found out I passed? And that's why it's a good idea to get closure on everything. You don't have to have people back in your life. You don't have to get back together. You have to be BFFs. You have to see each other every day. But there is a certain amount of closure that needs to happen. And it's important that you get that, you know? So let's get another message from Spirit. I hope I gave Caitlin some closure there, knowing that he loves her, he's not angry, and he'll be watching out for her, and she'll see him again. You know. So who wants a message from Spirit? Hi.
Hi,
How are you? Who are you, and where are you from, sweetie?
I'm Ariel Vizos. I'm from Hannibal, New York.
Beautiful. Where is that?
It's a little town in like Oswego County, kind of by Syracuse.
Beautiful. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, my mom grew up in upstate New York outside of Poughkeepsie. So I always wonder when I hear of a place I don't know, I'm like, where is that? But I have family in Syracuse, so
Oh, okay.
not far. So what's your question, hon?
So I have secondary infertility. We've been struggling for like almost 7 years now. So I'm just wondering, what do I need to be doing different to be able to conceive this baby?
Okay. The first thing that Spirit is saying is relax. You know the expression, a watch pot never boils? Whenever you're desperate to get pregnant, you never get pregnant. People who get pregnant usually get pregnant by accident. you know, People that are wanting so much and putting so much emphasis. Because here's the thing, and this is going to sound really strange, but if you're a little soul and you're coming down to be somebody's baby, and you see a lot of stress and anguish and angst, sometimes the little soul will be like, woof, not today. So sometimes the best thing you can do to bring that baby forward is to relax, make peace with it, let it go, and then just let it happen in Spirit's time. And that's the other thing about it, Ariel, is that sometimes we're trying to decide when something's going to happen. And Spirit wants us to resign ourselves to release and surrender into them deciding when something's going to happen. So sometimes just, as my mom used to say, give it up to God and just say, all right, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Sometimes that is the best way to then conceive. And sometimes, you hear stories all the time about women who they decide, that's it, I'm done, I can't conceive, I'm going to adopt, I don't need this anymore. And then that month they get pregnant. So maybe I think if you did like a little ritual, burn some candles, sat down, someplace lovely and soft, maybe some soft music, and said to Spirit, look, if this isn't for me, I'm putting this in your hands, and you tell me when the time is right, and I will do whatever you say. And then say to the little soul that's in the coffer, waiting to come in, waiting to go like the little bingo ball, waiting to go into the slot, and say, look, you know what? I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm ready whenever you're ready. I'm sick of doctors and treatments and fussing and worrying, and it's not getting me anywhere. And I'm just going to chill, and let's see what happens. And then that's what you need, babe.
Okay.
I know that sounds so like airy fairy, but it works. So will you do that for me?
Yes, thank you.
All right. I want to hear the minute you get pregnant. I'm so excited.
Okay.
All right. Take care, sweetheart. Because Ariel may be giving it up to God, but where's that baby? I want to see that baby now. Where is that? It's so hard when you want something so badly. It's so hard. It's hard. But you the release, right? It's so much about release with Spirit. It's so much about surrender. It's so much about saying to Spirit, you're in charge. You're in charge. You're in charge. You're in charge. And I know sometimes people don't like that because especially folks who grew up in the church, for them it feels like being told, God makes all the decisions. And I know for folks that grew up in indoctrined religion, sometimes that gets very scary. And I certainly don't mean for it to feel that way, because it's not. It's just that you're surrendering. It's like if you were trying to become an Olympian in tennis, and you were taking lessons from the person who coached Serena Williams, and they're telling you to do this with your wrist, and you're like, no, I'm gonna do the thing I've always done. You have to listen. And Spirit is our ultimate teacher. Spirit is our ultimate coach. And it's just about listening. So sometimes learning to listen gets you exactly what you want. Does that make sense? All right. And now a message from Spirit. Hi.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Who are you and where are you from?
My name's LaTanya, and I'm from Lineville, Alabama.
Hi, LaTanya. Where is that in Alabama? I had the pleasure to go to Alabama twice in 2017, and I'm just enamored with it. I had never been there, or Mississippi,
hmm
and I love them both so much.
It's a small town in Clay County, in central Alabama, uh, probably about 45 minutes from the Georgia line.
Okay, beautiful,
hmm hmm
beautiful, beautiful. Where, what is your question for me, sweetie? I said where, because I was going to ask more Alabama questions, and Spirit's like, no, get to the question.
Okay, so I've had some issues with my health recently. I had went under a surgical procedure and it didn't turn out right. Um, so now I'm kind of in a wheelchair, due to the complications of the surgery. So I want to know how much longer I will have to be in this chair, and will it get better soon?
Yeah, I mean, you're working towards it, right? And you're doing your therapy and everything that you're doing.
Yes.
Um, it looks like there's going to be a break around the end of the year for you. That just around the end of the year, sweetheart, something's going to break in the therapy and you're going to become more mobile. And it looks like by January going into February, you're going to pretty much be up on a walker most of the time and out of the chair.
Okay.
Does that feel like something that's possible to you?
Yes, it does. I can actually move my legs. I can stand, but the problem is walking for me.
Right. Right. And that's why you'll be able to get to the point where with the walker, you can get to the bathroom, get to the kitchen, maybe even go out to the mailbox, get limited mobility, but it's baby steps, right? At least it gets you up and out.
Okay.
And it looks like by the spring, you'll be able to like get in and out of a car with just the walker. So here's the thing that Spirit's saying. It's so important, sweetie, that you not panic. It's so important that you not think of every day as what you still don't have mobility wise, and think of every day as what you've gained. So right now you can move your legs and you can stand, right? That's better than it was.
Yes.
And so the next goal is how can I do, so let's say right now you're doing 100% chair, which is true, right?
Yes.
So let's say by the end of the year, by New Year's, your goal is 50% chair, 50% walker. So then you move into that, LaTanya, grateful for every minute that you're on the walker and not resentful of every minute you're in the chair.
Okay.
So every minute in the walker is great. If you got to be in the chair, that's great because you had your walker time. I think what Spirit is saying is because this has been such a disheartening situation for you, it's very easy to fall back into that sort of depression and that feeling like I'm never going to get better. This is never going to happen. I'm always going to be stuck. And then you put yourself like in a box, right? You're on the hamster wheel and you're not getting off. And it's so important to keep focusing on every little minute that's good and not worrying about the times where you're like, I'm exhausted and my legs can take no more. I'm going to sit in this chair tonight, watch TV, and then I'm going to go out in the kitchen, make something to eat in the chair, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it.
Okay.
But we beat ourselves up, right? That's what we do as human beings. And we shouldn't be doing that, but we do. For instance, I have this job, right? And it can be very energetically draining. Yet sometimes I beat myself up about going back to sleep. I have to remind myself that I work till 3:00 in the morning doing healings and I have nothing going on today. And if I want to just keep putting myself back to sleep again and again and again and again with the cat, I can do that because I earned that. And I learned that originally from having a lot of surgeries as a young person, where I'd say, you know what, I walked downstairs and got food today and I've got an incision this big. So if I just want to sit now, it's okay. And I think that sometimes we damage our healing by not accepting where we're at and being grateful for where we're going. So that's what I would like you to do. Because I feel when I tap into you, sweetheart, I feel that there has been a lot of discouragement. And,
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. It makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Good. All right, sweetheart. We're all going to send you some healing. Everybody watching is going to, no matter when you watch this show, you're going to send LaTanya some healing. And you're going to be okay, sweetie. I hope I helped today.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Awesome, sweetheart. Take care of you.
Thank you. You too.
All right. LaTanya's going to get better. Sound good? All right. We're making this work, friends. We're doing it today. We've got a little kind of some scheduling stuff happening. So my wonderful engineer producer Emery, who is a god, and I are trying to figure it out as I read for people, because sometimes people get confused about scheduling. So we're trying to make it work, okay? But we're making it work. Okay, we're making it work, folks. I just need to text a couple folks and let them know we're waiting for them in the studio, because poor Emery, who is the god of time, he has everything figured out time-wise, and I don't want him to worry. All right. All right, there we go. We did it. We did it. Okay, so important, friends, about healing. I'm so glad we had LaTanya, because it's so important that we realize that the key to healing is to, in the faraway future, see ourselves completely healed, but in the near, not beat ourselves up because we're not there yet. Baby steps. So many things in life, from a physiological and a emotional and an intellectual and a spiritual bent, are about baby steps, about just baby steps. Give yourself some time, you know? We all deal with things. I'm dealing with a lot of emotional stuff right now. And I have to remind myself, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. It's not all going to fix itself tomorrow. And it's okay to give yourself a break and say, this has been really hard. It's okay. You know, give yourself that break, my friends. It's so important. Okay? Okay. All right. All right. Let's do another message from Spirit. This is a good show. We're getting into some deep stuff today, and I'm very excited. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, Sheena. How are you? How's
good.
Colin?
It's so great to have you here, sweetie. Say your name and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Tinka, and I'm from Rochester, New York.
See, now Rochester, I know where that is, sweetheart. So you don't have to explain that one to me. You look so beautiful today.
Oh, thank you so much. I put my hat on because I was trying to hide my gray hair.
Oh, don't hide your honey. I'm not low. Okay, I have to admit, I cut the camera off right here to hide mine. So we're both doing the same thing, sister. We know. But you know what? But let's just say really quick, why do we feel like we have to do that? Why does our society make us feel like we're not supposed to have our gray? Because I feel like I earned every one of these from being alive on the planet, and I'm kind of proud of them.
Right. Well, I am too. It hasn't really adjusted on me yet, you know, and I know gray runs in our family at an early age, but I just can't get adjusted to it yet. So when I start getting adjusted to it, I won't be trying to hide it. I will embrace it. But right now,
I do it every week on this show. I'm like, you're on a network now. You should dye your hair.
Yes.
I think about it every day. But then I think, you know what? I'm 56. That's all I've got. I'm kind of proud of the fact that, you know what I mean? I think my mom was all gray by the time she was this age.
Yes.
So clearly I did something a little bit right. But
right.
Yeah, it's I think you should let it fly, baby.
Let it fly.
Let it fly. What's your
Next
question
time.
What's your question for me, sweetheart? How may I help you?
Okay, well, you know, I've always talked to you on Instagram on your live shows, but now I get to see you actually in person and talk to you in person. I just feel so honored. Yes,
I'm honored to have you here, sweetheart. I'm so glad you're here.
Well, you know, I'm always the one asking about my son in prison because he's like, you know, he's been gone away from me 17 years now, and I want him home. So I still rely on everything you tell me. Everything you have told me when I ask you things have came true. Like pretty much everything.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good. I love that.
You know, yeah. And I talk about you to everybody. I was like, my personal spiritualist, she tells me this and she hasn't let me wrong yet. So I'm doing a follow-up question that you told me back some months ago about my son, see something for him, or possibly him coming home in September. I'm just doing a follow up and seeing if the spirits still see my baby coming home anytime soon, because he's in a bad place right now. And I've been having anxiety attacks really, really bad, to where I had to get on medication, and my blood
Yeah.
pressure has gone straight through the roof. So I'm on blood pressure medicine. These are meds that I've been off of for years. Now I'm back on them because I've been panicking about, you telling me that you see him maybe possibly in September coming home. So my anxiety has been going through, because I'm not really prepared, and I
Sure.
don't want him to come home to Rochester, and I'm scared to relocate. So I was wondering, what do you see? Do you see him coming home? Should I relocate? What do you see? What is the spirit seeing for me and my child?
I see him coming home like in the fall still. And there's going to be some weird fluky kind of thing, like it's either a technicality legally, or it's a medical thing or something that's going to bring him home. Because he's been pretty good in there, right? Like good behavior.
He's actually in law school. His legal team put him through law school, and
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say he's been a good boy in there. I
yes,
mean, he's been a model prisoner,
yes,
and he's very loved and respected by a lot of people there, as one of those people that really has corrected his life. Like I talked about earlier, right? Can people
yes,
change? And
yes,
he has. And
yes.
he's gonna make a fantastic lawyer. So I
Oh,
do see him
woo.
coming. I don't know when he comes home if he's gonna want to stay in the Rochester area. So let him come home. You stay where you are, mama, and let him come home to you. And then you two decide where in this big, beautiful country you want to go.
Oh,
Because he might want a fresh start. He might want to go someplace else. And he also might, if he's fast tracking towards passing the bar, he might want to figure out what state he likes the bar in, because they're all different. In some states, they're killer. And he might just want to go someplace and live an easier life. He's been through a lot.
he has. Oh, I can't even breathe. Oh, I can't breathe, Sheena. I
It's
can
going
barely.
to be okay, baby. And I also see him maybe being like, I don't want to deal with this cold weather. I think you might go someplace warm.
He wants to go to Vegas.
Good. Great. Yeah, that's
I'm
fantastic.
just scared to relocate. I don't know why.
Don't be scared. He's going to be with you. He's going to take care of you. And he wants to show you what a good man he can be. And,
Oh,
and I said good boy earlier because he's still like when he thinks about you, he's still like a little guy, like a
yeah,
little guy,
yeah,
because you're his mama, and
yeah.
he wants to show mama what a good boy he can be. And he's done so good. So let him make the next step. Let him pick where you go. And I think Vegas would be great. Lots of people need legal help. And I see him becoming a reasonably priced defense attorney who defends people that have been through things like he has.
I can't breathe.
It's going to be okay, sweetie. It's going to be okay. It's all good news, right? He's done so good. He's changed his life. Not a lot of people ever change their lives. And I'm so proud of him.
Oh, Sheena, I can barely talk, honey.
Okay, baby. You're fine. You're okay. I'm going to let you go. It's going to be okay. All right. I'm sending you so much love. This is the success story of the month, you on this show today.
Thank you. Tell Cullen I love him, and I hope
will.
he'll be in person one day.
I will tell Cullen that you love him. And if you're in Vegas, I'll bring Cullen out to see you because we're close.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, sweetheart. Love you so much. And please give your son my love.
Thank you. Thank you. I will. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. What a beautiful story, right? He went into prison and he changed his life and went through law school. I mean, that's amazing. That's the proof, people. We can change every day. Every single day we can change. And that is the beautiful story here. Every day we can change. All right? Okay. It's so exciting. That made everything worth it for my week. I got real bad food poisoning today, and I'm like, and that with Tinka made it all okay. Even if I vomit on the show now, it'll be okay. All right. So who wants a message from Spirit? I'm so blown away from that one. I have nothing else to say. Hi.
Hi, Sheena.
How
My
are
name's.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Who are you and where are you from, sweetie?
My name's Kelly Hines, and I'm from Marysville, Ohio.
Beautiful.
And I've had questions for you in the past, but I've never really asked to hear any messages from any family that's moved on. So today I was wondering if you could get anything from my grandma on my mom's side or my grandpa.
Your grandma comes through stronger. You were closer to her than grandpa, right?
Yeah, I was close to both, but grandpa had his own communication style. So grandma was definitely here longer.
I was just going to say, grandpa was hard to communicate with. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
He kind of marched to the beat of his own drummer.
For sure.
But grandma was very nurturing and very sweet.
Yep.
And very much a soft place for you to land as a little one.
Yep.
She wants you to know you're doing a great job as a mother.
Oh, my kids miss her.
She's worried that sometimes you think you aren't. And she wants you to know being a mom is the hardest job in the world, and you're doing a wonderful job. And she's so proud of you, and she hopes that maybe spending a little bit of time with her helped to be a little bit of an influence on you for how to be a mom.
Yeah, she was definitely the goofy. She was the one that would get goofy and play with us as kids.
Yeah. And you're like that with your kids.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she's just so proud of you, sweetie. She thinks you're doing so great, and she's so proud of you, and she could not even be happier.
Oh, that's good to hear.
And yeah, she just thinks you're fantastic. She says there's something you're really worried about right now. Is it a money thing?
Oh, well, we just went to the eye doctor today and racked up $1,000 bill on glasses.
Oh, okay. She said, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. You're going to make it.
And that's, yes, it's kind of an ascending issue. And then we topped it off today. So good to know.
Are you wearing the new glasses right now?
No, these are the old ones.
Oh, they're snazzy. I like them. I hope
my new ones are going to be that like octagon shape.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I went a little crazy.
You're going to look like a scientist.
That's what I was going for.
Fantastic. Yeah, she doesn't want you to doubt anything, Kelly. She wants you to know you're doing great. And she wants you to say to yourself every day when you wake up, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm rocking this. This is tough. And I'm making it work, and I'm doing great.
I can do that.
Okay?
All right.
All right. Take care, sweetheart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for participating in the show.
Absolutely. I love being here.
I'm so glad. Everybody's so wonderful, aren't they? Everybody's so great today. And everybody's so great every week. And we're here every single Wednesday at 2:00 Pacific time. And here's what we do. We upload the show. The show goes live. We used to call it via satellite, but I guess now it's via internet to PARAPOD TV. So you can watch it live there. And then at the same time that happens, we when I'm done here, I download the show, then I upload it to them, and then it lives forever on their site. So sometimes if you miss it a little late, you don't see it in the archive right away, give it a day, because Parapod's wonderful station owner, Tony Sweet, who is a miracle because he's running 3 stations at once and a yearly festival and his own show, Truth Be Told, which is fantastic. So he's got a lot of stuff going on, and he's great. And so just give it a little time. It'll get up there. All right. And yeah, exciting. If you want to be on the show, send me a text message, 818-437-0886. And if you want to find me on social media, I'd love that. I'm everywhere at Sheena Metal. And that's Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and X, formerly Twitter. You got to say that, right? It's fun to say that. All right. Who wants a message from Spirit? Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Sheena? Long time no see.
I know. It's nice to see your face. It's been a very long time.
Yeah, last time we met, it was in Dr. Bruce Solholm' birthday 4 years ago.
That's right. That's right. But the very first, well, not the very close to the very first psychic party I ever did. And
Yeah,
Nassim was there at the party. He was a friend of the birthday boy. And I'm
yeah.
so glad to see you, my friend. Where are you from in the world? And what's your question
I
for?
am from Rancho Cucamonga, California,
Beautiful.
and I have a quick question. I asked the same question probably last year. How you see my financial future?
Yeah, it's been a rough, COVID has really been rough for you, right? It's kind of hit you because Nassim, you're an entrepreneur and you always have your hand in a lot of pots. And unfortunately, the projects that you put together are big, so they require big funding. And during COVID, everything kind of shut down. So there was no big anything. And nobody was taking a chance on anything. So I really see that next year, we're going to sort of finally be done with a lot of the COVID stuff. And it's going to be the time for you right about April, a really big project's going to hit.
Okay.
One that you've really been working on, like a big dream one. It has to do with a lot of international travel for you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it is. It
But you've
is.
got something going on right now, right? Something that's not as big, but there's something going on right now.
Someone asked me to go working with the Navy
Okay.
in Bahrain,
Beautiful.
and I think I was here. If I go for like 1 year
Okay.
contract.
Okay.
It's not what I really want to do, but
It's good.
I need it.
Take it.
I need it.
Take it. Take it. Take the money. Enjoy the travel. Make the connections for future projects. And then wait because this big one's coming around April.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Have a
Thank you, my
great one.
friend. Nice to see you here.
Bye.
Wonderful to see you, Nassim.
Bye.
And always excited when a guy does the show because we don't get as many guys. And that's okay. But it's nice when we do because I want people to know that men like psychics too. It's not just a thing for women, and it's also for men. Men enjoy getting some great advice from a psychic about financial stuff, about health stuff, about relationship stuff. I like that because it breaks down the barriers of what we think psychics are. You know, I think that's very important. It makes me very happy. So thank you, Nassim, for that. We try to get at least one guy on every show. It doesn't always happen, but I think some shows we've had two. So I think if we went through all the shows that we've done, this is our second show for PARAPOD TV. We were on another network before we did 7 shows. Probably evens out to one guy per show, plus the wonderful producer director and engineer Emery is here, and he takes care. There's always one guy, and it's Emery, and he's behind the scenes and he's working it. And then of course the wonderful Tony is making it all happen. So I love my team. I do love my team. All right, I'm ready to give a message from Spirit. Here we go. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good.
Wonderful. Who are you? Where are you from, sweetie?
I'm Treasure Sophus, and I'm from Boise, Idaho. Well, kind of, but yeah.
wait a minute. Where are you from, kinda?
So I'm originally from Seattle, but I live in Boise, and it doesn't feel like home fully yet, so that's why I say sort of. So yeah, sorry.
I get it. That's okay. No, I get it. I people always say, like, when I refer to being from Connecticut, people always say, but you haven't lived there since you were 13. I'm like, I know, but it's still, I still wear the shoes with the little tassels, and I still like an Oxford shirt, and it never leaves, right? So I think everywhere that we live leaves an imprint on us.
No, that's totally fair, and that's actually really true. Real quick about the about having guys come in, you're totally right. Like you don't see many men like go and like talk to psychics, and so that was really cool seeing them.
Yeah, isn't that nice? I love that. Yeah. And I'm not stereotyping, but I think we think like all men that go to psychics are gay men. And it's not true. I have a lot of clients who are straight men. They've got issues with their women. They've got issues with work. They're trying to deal with their child, seeing their kids and being good dads. So there's like lots of stuff going on. I think the world is expanding, the psychic world, right, Treasure? So what's your question for me today, sweetheart?
My question for you today is just, so what would you recommend for someone who wants to work on their gifts, but are afraid to do it, if that makes sense?
Sure. Well, the first thing I would ask you if we were doing a private session is what's the fear, honey?
The fear, honestly, I think it's just the fear of sharing it with other people and them being like, should you go on schizophrenic meds, like antipsychotics? And so that's, I think, the fear.
Sure. I have a friend who's a very talented creator, and she, her parents did put her in a place when she was little, and she was seeing things. So it's a thing, right? My fear when I was growing up in the entertainment industry was that if I told anybody that I had these gifts, they would throw me out and I'd never work again. Yet here I am. So surprise, surprise. It's sometimes I think that fear is very prevalent. Oftentimes it's not as bad as you think, because the truth is most of your friends secretly know something's up with you anyhow. Sometimes just admitting it makes it less weird, or it becomes less weird than they thought it was going to be. Like they thought it was going to be, oh, I'm practicing satanic witchcraft or whatever they think it's going to be.
That's right.
So it's really important that you just do it, and maybe start with a friend you think is going to be cool and start talking about it. Now, just talking about it and admitting to yourself, Treasure, that the gifts are a thing, the gifts will start to come more, because usually gifts are like trying to come and we're blocking them.
Yeah.
So if we're not blocking them, they'll come on their own. And then once they start to come and you start to use them and apply them into your everyday life, then they come more. It's kind of like when you start singing, maybe your range is an octave and a half. But then if you went out every night and sang karaoke, probably after 3 months, you'd have maybe a 3-octave range, because it's a muscle. And your psychic stuff is a muscle too. And you build it up. Like when I started out, I said, look, I'm an intuitive, I'm an empath. And I didn't use the psychic word because I thought it was hokey. But then I realized nobody knew what it was unless you said psychic. But I'm not a medium. I don't want to be a medium. I grew up in a haunted house. No medium, nada, no. And then one day I'm in my car and I look over and my client's deceased Sphinx cat is sitting in the passenger seat. Talking to me about, so when are you going to get a Sphinx cat? I know you want a Sphinx cat. You should really, and he was all like leaning back by the door and his little like legs and arms were crossed. And he was like, just, chill as can be, having this conversation with me about when I was going to get another cat.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that I didn't have a choice. I was now a medium. And then the more I accepted that, the more the gifts came. So my only advice always to everybody, sweetie, and I will give this to you too, especially because you're a little reticent about it, is go slow, take your time, and don't try to rush, and make sure energetically you're not, sitting on your bed saying, okay, God, I'll take all the gifts tomorrow, because you don't want all the gifts tomorrow. You want a little bit of time to get used to learn how to use, and you want spirit to drop little droplets of gifts in over time, which is what they want. But if you ask for it all, you're probably going to get it all, because what's going to happen is spirit's just going to pull that dam out of the way, and then the river of gifts. And it can be a lot, and it can be a lot in your personal life. It's something you got to get used to, And part of that is interpersonal communication, because when you start working as a psychic and a medium, then you have to figure out what the boundaries are from your interpersonal relationships, because some people will get crazy and try to use you as their psychic hotline. But then also some people will be like, you know, hey, what do you think of this dress? Oh, I like it. Well, wait a minute. Is that you liking it, or is that a psychic hit? And it's like, really? A psychic hit about your dress? Like, I got nothing better to do? But people will start to question, like, well, when you say that, is that a message from spirit, or is that just you saying that the spaghetti's good? So you got to get used to what these gifts look like in your three-dimensional life. And I think for all of us on a spiritual journey, psychic or not, it's the mixture of our 3D life and our 5D life, and getting them on the same page that can be very difficult. And then you just kind of, that's to the nth power when you're a psychic, right?
See.
So you're going to be fine. Baby steps. Keep honest with yourself. Keep honest with spirit. Keep honest with the people in your life that matter. Know that not everybody in your life needs to know everything. If you think someone's going to not be good about it, you don't need to tell that person. Start with the people you know are going to be great. And build that muscle up. Okay?
Yeah, thank you. Like, legit, I appreciate it vastly.
You're wonderful, my friend. Keep me posted on how it goes.
Will do. And thank you again, Sheena. I hope you have a beautiful day.
Oh, thank you. And what a beautiful name you have, Treasure. Treasure. I mean, it sounds like a psychic name, right? Like, my name sounds like I should be in the Twisted Sister cover band. But Treasure's name sounds like she's already a psychic. And like you could see like her like sitting in a chest full of treasure, but the treasure's all crystals and sage. And that's what, if I was her, that's what the front of my webpage would look like. Mine should look like, you know, horns up, dude. So it's nice to have that. I thought about changing my name to Celestial Supernova, but I thought maybe that was a bit much. What a great show today. Great people, wonderful time, great questions. So excited for everyone. So happy to be here. I hope that I gave some real people, some real messages from spirit, and some real healing, some answers, and everything that we need. We like to keep it real here. You can find us on PARAPOD TV every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Pacific time. Later that day, it will archive and stay forever and ever. I have PARAPOD TV on my Roku, and I love it. You can watch the show on TV. Also, if you'd like to be a guest, text me, 818-437-0886. Or if you would like to talk about some crystals or some workshops or a private session or all the things that I have, I'm at sheenametalspiritual.com. Best way to reach me is to text me, 818-437-0886. If you are out of the United States, WhatsApp me, 1-818-437-0886. And remember to find me everywhere on social media at Sheena Metal, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter. Until I see you next time, seek peace, live in love, lead with kindness, embrace unity, always work to raise not only your vibration, but the vibration of those around you and of the everything. And most importantly, remember this: you are love, and you are loved, and you're loved by me. I'm Sheena Metal. This is Messages from Spirit, only on PARAPOD TV. And you know what? We'll see you next week. Take care.